Hey, so in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can either highlight a cell or an entire row based off of whether the number is above or below an average number. So in this example here, we have our students, we have our grades, and maybe I want to highlight all the different students that are above the average, or maybe I want to highlight them if they're below the average. So it gives me an idea of who I can really work with if they have a lower grade, or if there's students that are doing really well and I want to maybe motivate them some more by giving them an extra little surprise or something like that. It's a great way just to see who's below and above the average. So we have our example here, and what we're going to do, I just have the average here. You don't really need the average. The formula does it all itself, but I just want to show you that it actually does highlight everything that is at the average or above it. And so I'm going to select the entire range of cells that I want to apply this formatting to. Now you get to decide whether you just want to do, let's say, just the cell of where the grade is, and you just want to highlight each individual cell. You can go ahead and do that. But if you want the entire row, you're going to need to select the entire range of what you want to highlight. So I have my two different columns here. I'm going to select the very first one, holding the shift key grabbed to the very bottom right corner of my range. So it's grabbed both column H and column I. So I've got both the student name as well as the grade because I wanted to highlight the entire row. What I'm going to do is go to Format, Conditional Formatting, and then under Format Rules, we are going to click on the drop down and scroll to the bottom to get to Custom Formula Is. And this is where we are going to create our formula. So I'm going to put equals, and I want to basically say if any of the grades here are above the average, then I want it to highlight. So I'm going to do equals. I'm going to start with the very first cell here by going I6, but I'm going to put a dollar sign in front of the I, in front of the column, I6. So wherever your first grade is, or wherever the first number that you want to highlight is, that's the cell reference that you want to put in here. Then I'm going to put our greater than symbol, and then I'm going to write an average, and then I'm going to put a left bracket. And now I'm going to make sure that I put in the entire column. So because all my grades are in column I, I'm just going to do dollar sign I. Then I'm going to, you don't have to put capitals. I like putting capitals though. So anyway, dollar sign I, and then I'm going to put my colon in there. And then I'm going to do dollar sign I to keep it open in case we add in any other grades below here. And then I'm going to put my right bracket. So as you can see, it's automatically highlighting everything above the average. And as we know, the average we already figured out was over here. So anything that's 78 and above, it's going to automatically highlight. So now I could change the color and the formatting of this. So let's say I want to highlight these as yellow right here, and maybe I'm going to bold them, and that looks great. So I could do that, and then I can click on done. So now I could do the exact same thing, but if I want it to be below, then what I would do instead of the greater than symbol, I would do less than. So then it would highlight everything that's below. So as you can see, as I made it the lesser than, it actually highlights anything that's below the average as well as the blanks. Now, if you don't want the blanks to highlight, I'm going to show you what else we can add in our formula. Don't worry, it's going to be a little bit extra, but I will paste it below, so you could just copy and paste and change out the cell references as needed. But I really don't want this to highlight the blank cells, so what I'm going to do is in between our equal sign and our dollar sign, we're going to add in a few more formulas in here. Don't worry, it's not scary. So I'm going to start with our AND formula, because basically I want to say as long as this isn't blank and it actually has an average or a number in there that's below the average, then I want it to highlight. So we're going to do AND left bracket, not left bracket, is blank left bracket. And then I'm going to reference the very first cell where our grades are, which again is our I6, but I'm going to put a dollar sign in front of the I, and then 6. Then I'm going to put a right bracket, and then another right bracket, and then a comma. Now this is just saying, hey, as long as this isn't blank, so if these aren't blank, and then we still have our other part of our formula that says if these numbers are below the average, as long as those two things are happening together, that's where the AND comes in, then we're going to highlight. But as you can see, it's still highlighting right around where we've put our formula, and that's because at the very end of a formula, we just have to add one more bracket, and then it'll automatically update. So now it's only highlighting the cells that have numbers that are below your average, but it's not highlighting anything that's blank. So now I can change this. Let's say I want to change this color to this pink, and then click done. And so here we go. So if I change this number to below the average, maybe they got a 45, you can see it automatically highlights. But if I put it as blank, it won't highlight. So you have to get a little bit more specific if you are going to do below the average than above the average. But that's how you do both of them. If you have a question at all, let me know. I'm happy to answer any questions. And don't forget, I do have a free mini course. So if you're brand new to Google Sheets or you just want to brush up on your skills, check out the Wild Heart Spreadsheet Academy. It's completely free. It's a mini course. You'll learn all the basics of Google Sheets, as well as you'll learn how to create this really cute weekly planner. And then you'll also get a free custom GPT that shows you or actually generate some ideas for your next 5 spreadsheets that are all beginner friendly ideas. So check those out. I will link it below. Thank you so much. Bye.